Coming up on Mountain News at 6, a Floyd County dentist has his license suspended after being charged in connection with a murder case. And police are looking for a missing man out of Perry County. We'll hear from some of his family.
All right, we have some flood advisories on the map at this hour. We'll talk about those coming up in a few minutes.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Strong storms and heavy rain are causing problems yet again today in parts of eastern Kentucky. Let's check in with First Alert meteorologist Eric Dean on this First Alert weather day for the latest. Eric.
All right, Steve, we have a whole slew of advisories out right now, beginning with that flood watch in effect for the majority of the viewing area until 8 o'clock. But this is the main concern right now. Flood advisory in effect until 7:30 for Bell, Clay, Harlan, and Knox County. Again, Bell, Clay, Harlan, and Knox County is under a flood advisory. We have 19,109 people impacted. This just popped up on our weather computer. This is a flood advisory. The information hasn't come up yet. There it is. Flood advisory for McCreary and Whitley County. Again, McCreary and Whitley County now under a flood advisory until 8 o'clock this evening. This just popped in within the past 30 seconds. The other big story, the flood watch is in effect until 8 o'clock for the majority of the WYMT viewing area. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for extreme southeastern Mingo County as well. And you can see the latest now with live pinpoint Doppler radar, that line of showers and thunderstorms pushing through portions of eastern Kentucky. There's another round between Louisville and Lexington that we're going to keep an eye on over the next several hours. But again, the flood advisories and flood watch are still in effect for portions of the viewing area. Steve.
All right, Eric, thank you very much. And we continue to follow some weather-related breaking news in Bell County. A major mudslide near Balkan has caused a portion of US 119 to be closed there. Officials say it could take several hours to clear that slide. Again, that's on US 119. Bell County emergency management officials also say Highway 2012 and Balkan Road are also closed due to mudslides. Of course, this comes as there have been several rounds of rain this week, especially in the Cumberland Valley region, which has caused some flooding, most of it minor up to this point. Now, we also understand Highway 987 in the Brownies Creek area has been reduced just to one lane, but the biggest landslide that we're aware of at this point is there on US 119, and I've seen some pictures floating around on social media. It's definitely going to take a while to get that cleaned up, so you want to avoid that area if possible. There are new developments today for one of 3 men charged in the Amber Spradlin murder case in Floyd County. Dr. Michael McKinney's license to practice dentistry has been immediately and temporarily suspended by the state's Board of Dentistry. McKinney is also required to make arrangements to refer dental patients and place a written notice in his dental offices. Dr. McKinney has been released on bond. A Pulaski County man is facing charges after he reportedly hurt a deputy by throwing a knife at them. Last night, deputies and firefighters responded to reports of a fire at a home on South Highway 27, Loop 4. After finding the man inside, police say 47-year-old Brian Heron threatened them by waving knives at them and even threw one at a deputy, striking them in the head. Police later entered the home and tased Heron before he was arrested. A Harlan County man is behind bars after police found meth and other paraphernalia at his home. Police arrived at the home in the Tots community on Wednesday after obtaining a search warrant. Police later found 38-year-old Devin Kiefer after he reportedly was hiding in some weeds off the road. Kiefer was charged with trafficking in a controlled substance and possession of drug paraphernalia. He was taken to the Harlan County Detention Center. A Perry County man has now been missing for a week. Hazard police are investigating the case. WYMT's Caroline Mueller spoke with members of his family.
Friday, July 26 was the last time family and friends in Hazard heard from 25-year-old Donovan Engel.
Probably 2 or 3 days after he went missing, we realized that he was missing. Today makes a week.
His sister, Kelsey Engel, says he has nothing.
No food, no money, no ride, no phone. I mean, It's pitiful. I just don't know.
Because of his drug use, his aunt, Kim Combs, has been estranged from Donovan. But she says she kept an eye on him and friends would make sure she always knew he was alive.
I'm used to going days without seeing or hearing from him, but not this many days. Because Donovan knows everybody. When I say that, to be 25, he knows everybody. And at the same time, none of these people has talked to him or seen him.
Combs says she has heard various things from people like he had been hitchhiking, walking and biking so much he had blisters on his feet, and he had been sleeping under a bridge.
Oh, stuff like that don't sound like Donovan, but he was in a place in his life to where I have to believe that, or I don't think people would tell me that.
She says she is hoping for the best.
I'm wanting to believe in my heart and soul that he hit his rock bottom and that he is seeking help maybe out of town and in a rehab somewhere maybe to where he can't make a phone call right now.
His family wants to tell him this.
I just don't even have words for it, really. I don't know what to say. I just want him to come home.
And that he just got so many people that's caring and looking for him, and that if he sees me on here, to please come home. That's all.
Donovan is about 6 feet and 3 inches tall, has dirty blonde hair, and was last seen with a beard. In Hazard, Caroline Mueller, WYMT Mountain News.
If you have seen Donovan or know anything about where he is, you can contact his sister Kelsey Engel or his aunt Kim Combs on Facebook, or just reach out directly to Hazard Police. As of now, no decision has been made by the now presumptive Democratic nominee for president, Kamala Harris. Governor Andy Beshear, or Vice President, that is. Governor Andy Beshear is scheduled for an appearance in Chicago Monday. The governor made another out-of-state appearance last night, this time in Oklahoma. Governor Beshear and Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro both canceled events set to take place over the weekend. Shapiro could be viewed as an asset to clinch that state for Democrats.
If they believe that this is the most important thing that a VP can bring to the table, then I would say that he does have the upper hand.
With an ever-changing political landscape, some believe Governor Beshear is not being ruled out to get that call for VP. Of course, that's something we're going to watch very closely over the weekend. Kamala Harris, the vice president, is expected to make her pick by Monday. Voter registration increased once again last month. Kentucky Secretary of State says more than 14,000 Kentuckians registered to vote in July, making it the biggest jump since 2022. Republican registration increased by more than 6,200 voters, while Democratic registration decreased by nearly 600 voters. Inmates with the Kentucky River Regional Jail can participate in a work release program and make a positive difference in the community. WYMT's Madison Carmouche tells us about the impact the program is making.
Keeping Perry County clean is no easy feat, but help from Kentucky River Regional Jail's work release program helps the county and the inmates.
The amount of work that we put in and do really saves a ton of money as far as what it would cost if they had to have employees out here doing this kind of thing. And it gives our inmates a chance to get out, to give back to their communities.
Perry County Jailer Minor Allen says inmates who participate in the program get paid and time off their sentence after 1 month.
Really, it is a privilege, you know, for those that work this program, because they're not restricted for 7 or 8 hours a day. They can get out back into the community and help different organizations.
Allen says the inmates are not only building positive connections, but a playground for an area church.
And I've had several of them that's told me that they plan on coming back and visiting the park once they're out, because they do take pride in that.
Adding he hopes being a positive role model for them will help them forge a new path after serving their time.
You know, and I think it's a lot of it, you know, it started, you know, in their younger lives. The reason they chose the path they're on, they come from broken homes or different things like that.
But Allen says the relationships he's built have changed his life as well.
You know, that always makes me feel good to be a good mentor to somebody that you feel like you've accomplished something when somebody contacts you back like that.
In Perry County, Madison Carmouche, WYMT Mountain News.
Allen says without help from county officials during his time as jailer, he would not have been able to make so many improvements. The 10-win season that the UK football team achieved back in 2021, which included a Citrus Bowl victory against Iowa, is now vacated. 11 players were said to have jobs at UK Hospital and were paid for hours they did not work. The swimming and diving team also face penalties today. The NCAA requires each program a certain amount of hours to practice, but it appears some athletes exceeded those limits and were not given days off. We have much more about this story with UK Athletics on our website. Happening today, the continuation of the Osborne Brothers Hometown Festival in Leslie County. WYMT's Amelia Lee is at the Bluegrass Festival now. And Amelia, how are things going there in Hyden?
Steve, it is going great out here at the Osborne Brothers Hometown Festival. I'm having the time of my life, and I know if you came down here too, you'd have a pretty good time as well with all of this bluegrass music and just the fun vibes that we're really seeing here in Hyden today. And people actually came far and wide to come and listen to this music and be a part of it all.
I feel like Bobby and Sonny's just looking over it.
Through rain and shine, the music has not stopped during the Osborne Brothers Hometown Festival. Lori Lambert came from Ohio to be here this week.
We just come for the festival, and we played Wednesday with Dean Osborne. So Brad and I always do a gospel show with him on Wednesday nights. So we love singing together, and we get to do it once a year.
She says Dean Osborne has helped to make this festival one you don't want to miss.
At one time in their life come, because it's Dean and them guys and his wife and the whole crew and the school, and it's old to young.
It's the 31st festival, and Osborne says he hopes it will stay strong.
It's great to continue that legacy.
Some proceeds from sales goes to a good cause.
The proceeds and the fundraising that gets done here, most of that can go to make sure that those fire departments stay alive and well.
With all sorts of creatures coming for the music.
And it's just like everybody's coming in for the music, even the birds.
Again, we are having such a great time here at the Osborne Brothers Hometown Festival in Hyden, Kentucky. As you can hear behind me, there's music, there's singing, and there's so much fun with all of this bluegrass. And you can come out and have fun too. In Leslie County, Amelia Lee, WYMT Mountain News.
All right, Amelia, hopefully it stays dry there for the rest of the night. Thank you. The last group for tonight is Gray Brewer and the Kentucky Ramblers. That's at the Bobby Osborne Pavilion. The festival continues tomorrow.
All right, we are seeing a line of showers and thunderstorms push through eastern Kentucky. We'll break everything down in the first alert forecast in a few minutes. Stay with us.